Sponsor, thank you for the audience. Okay, this room is 100% filled, and this is good. The way we are going to articulate this last presentation, it's going to be a duplex. I've managed, with the help of Stefan Plesser, who is online, to do a kind of a two-part presentations. So as he's online now, Stefan is going to start the presentation. So you will be in full connection with him shortly. And then I will catch up after, once Stefan have done his presentation. He was not able to come here. He wanted to, but it was not possible. So we are going to rely on technology. And I can tell you, technology works when it's done with quality. Stefan, you are on.
Much, Eric. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for having me on your event. I've prepared a little presentation for you on the Copilot certification and what we call technical monitoring. And I would now try to share my screen with you so that you can see my slides. So now you can see my slides. Wonderful. This is working really well. So we have good quality because things are going the way they're supposed to go. That's what we call quality. Wonderful. Well, let me introduce myself first. As Eric said, we have been working together for quite a while on the issue of quality in building performance. My name is Stefan Plesser. I work on buildings since more than 20 years. And I have an engineering company as well as a software company. And the software company is focusing on quality management tools for buildings. And what I'd like to present to you is, well, basically a solution that we developed with Eric over the last years, and that is right now starting to fly, and it's really exciting new solution for building performance. I think it's not that new to you that buildings not always work the way they're supposed to work. They are an absolutely essential part of fighting climate change, not only on the large scale, global climate change, but also to have healthy and good cities to live in. So this is an essential part of our challenges for our built infrastructure globally. What we have experienced over the last almost decades now is that we have made great progress in the building industry. If you compare buildings 40 years ago with what we can do actually today, we are actually able to build really good buildings. We have the technologies, we have excellent concepts to do this. But unfortunately, in the end, when we look at our buildings, they don't always work the way they could work. And this is not really an issue of not having the proper technologies, not having the right products, etc. But this really is a matter of quality. When we don't get the requirements done that we are actually asking for, then this is not a problem of the means not being there, but the way we deliver it. And that is why we think that quality management will become increasingly more important to provide good, sustainable, healthy buildings in the future. And as you can see on this picture, this is more than concrete, steel, and glazing. This has to do a lot with building technologies, building services, HVAC systems, building management system controls, software, etc. And this is actually the point where Eric and I got in contact when he started to think about Copilot certification. We were starting to think about what we call technical monitoring. And this is something that is right now really catching up, getting momentum in Germany, in Austria, where we are mostly applying this. Technical monitoring basically is a process that defines requirements for buildings, functional requirements, functional performance targets in a digital way, and in a way that you can evaluate very precisely based on data provided by building management systems. The big difference from buildings today, one big difference from buildings today and buildings maybe 40 years ago, is that buildings today and in the future even more can provide data. Every single pump and valve and damper, chiller, boiler, etc. can provide data. They can be collected either by building management systems or be provided directly to the cloud through IoT services. So this is a great source, and where we see tremendous potential is in creating methodologies and means and products that can specify objectives and that can evaluate the quality or the extent to which we meet those objectives in operation. And basically, this is the core procedure that we have defined in what we call technical monitoring. And as you can see right here on the bottom of this slide, that we have integrated together with Riva into a certification called Copilot, where we can actually certify all those individual requirements and quality aspects of buildings. And the process is really very, very simple. The first step is that we specify performance looking at individual systems like chiller, like heating circuit, like ventilation, air handling unit, whatever, and specify digitally what the functional requirement is. This is not the solution. It is not the design specification of how it is being done, but only of what you expect the system to do. So we specify the outcome. We specify what the building owner, the investor, whoever, expects from the building, the systems, and the rooms. So all this can be done in software. It is a kind of, you would today call probably a digital twin, a functional digital twin. The second very important aspect is, and this is usually not done today, not at all, is based on the specification. We also define what the testing procedure is. So if we define a certain specification, a certain functional specification for, let's say, an air handling unit, let's say a supply temperature, at the same time we define what is the digital procedure to test whether I get this functionality or not. And since it's all based on data, this can also be done very precisely, defined in trial operation, and you can see it right here, based on data. So this is not expert goes on site and checks and evaluates based on his experience, her experience, but this is all based on data. And the third step then, of course, is we go into trial operation, we start up the systems, they're operating, they are supposed to operate the way they are supposed to operate the next 20 years in usually automated mode. We keep the system running for, let's say, a week or 3 days, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks if it's a more complex building. We have the system running the way it's supposed to run. We extract the data and we compare what we have specified with the data that we get. And the result is as transparent and precise as you can see down here. This is not expert opinion. This is green or red. This is yes or no, achieved, not achieved. And this is very valuable because you get very clear and reliable, robust methodologies for the evaluation of how a system is working. And since we can be so precise and transparent in the methodology, this can at the same time form part of the Copilot certification. We can very precisely define what these certification requirements are, what the procedures are, and what you can expect to receive when you certify a building or a system with a Copilot certification. Of course, this is done for scaling up. This is not done for one single building. So far, we have applied it to about altogether 500 buildings and about 3,000 systems. Most of those buildings I have never seen. Our team has never seen. We have never been there. We just derived functional specifications like owner's project requirements for the building from the engineering. We specified the procedures, we received the data, and we evaluated the data. And these are just a couple of numbers for savings. We have payback times for the whole service, everything included, that are below 1 year on average. So it is really economically very attractive service, and at the same time it does scale up. You can do it basically all over the world. We have our first partner now in Thailand, Singapore. We have a partner in the US. So this is really something that you can do basically all over the world because it's really software based. So from my point of view, I think, Eric, this is an excellent opportunity for buildings. And thank you very much for your attention. And I'm certainly available for your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. And then we'll carry on on the same subject. Actually, your presentation wrap up very well with what has been said since this morning. And thank you again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. So if we just take a little stop here, compare with what we have done since this morning, okay? First of all, you had an excellent description of how to put in place a quality process, okay? And Ubaldo presentations went really menu by menu in an extremely pragmatic approach, okay, to give you the flavor of what is actually commissioning. Okay, that's quite clear, all right? He gave you also some numbers, okay, 0.6, 0.7%. The commissioning guys, you know, it's quite a bit of money, all right? Then after, with Cormac presentations, we presented you basically a methodology to apply commissioning in a way where you can guarantee to the customer, no matter who he is, okay? And I know we had several discussions, you know, but by the way, who is the guy who is doing what? There's a little bit of confusion here, and there will be confusion for quite a time to go, as each project might be organized differently, okay? Depending on the industry, depending on the countries, this can change. But also the full commissioning that it was presented, okay, that start at pre-design, design, constructions, startup and operations. Well, you know, if I'm trying to put in your feet as commissioner or as investor and so on, you say, oh, this is a lot of money. And Maya then step in and start to say, look, guys, you are here to become slave. You know, sorry, but if you thought that you were going to make money with commissioning, forget it, okay? Well, we'll see. Basically, you know, you are going to question yourself at the end of the day, but what I was doing there, you know, they are telling me that doesn't make sense. It's too big, it's too nice. Okay, well, this is the right time to see how what was just presented to you is actually a door opener to commissioning. First of all, let's face it, we are in Turkey. The building industry in Turkey is not so good, okay? The number of really new projects that are flying is very close to zero. Okay, let's face it. There are a few, but there are very few, okay? And basically, Turkey is a fantastic place with a number of buildings that are in operation that are huge, okay? You guys, you know how to manage cement, concrete and so on. You've done a lot of constructions. So that tells me that, well, as a businessman, the market, if there is a market, it must be on existing buildings, okay? Because new buildings, very rare, and we have to wait for a recovery, okay? So let's be pragmatic. The Timon that was just presented to you is actually fantastic because you can come with an offer like this one, very light. It doesn't cost a lot of money compared with a full commissioning, okay? But it goes straight to the point. Remember that screen where we saw those green bar and red bar as a summary? It goes straight to the point without being on site, without spending time. So the amount of money you need to invest is quite light. And you are able to come to your customer with a summary that tells, well, that's it. This is where we need to concentrate. Look, you have a dysfunction here, or there are a big improvement here, or whatsoever. And as this is giving you a very quick opportunity to bring value, okay? You know, you have sent the ball, it's like tennis, you know? You send the ball to the other guy's side. And then you get that ball, and you have to do something with it. And the ball is, well, my building needs to improve in some areas. And the guy is going to say, well, what can I do? Well, then you can plan for a retrofit job. You can plan for a budget. Okay, so let's try to do that. And then you as a commissioner, because you have built up that trust that you deliver him high quality job, he's going to tell you, well, can you come back? I'm going to do a project. Maybe you can help me to make sure that what I'm going to order, I will be delivered. And then you can get the full commissioning process. Even if it's not a new building, you will still have a pre-design, but it's a pre-design of the revamping job. Even if the scope is not the whole building, even if it's only a part. Okay, the red lines were clearly on the ventilations. We are going to revamp the ventilation of this building. Well, great. I'll do a commissioning job, focus on the ventilations, okay, and I will accompany you, pre-design, design, and so on and so on, okay? And by the way, as part, if you have seen the slide this morning, as part of the copilot process, there are 4 blocks. One block is the data monitoring. Guess what? When you are ready to restart the building, the retrofit has been done, what do you do? Team on, you do a 1-week survey of the data, you rework the report, and you say, look, the building was like that before the job, now the building is like that. And you can even use it, sometimes, you know, in HVAC, we like to do what I call seasonal commissioning. Because if you do a commissioning in the summer, and let's say you have an installation that is doing cooling and heating, I can guarantee you that even though it's very well tuned for working in summer, when it's going to switch to winter, you'll have some surprise. So then what you can do a seasonal commissioning with 2 Timons, winter condition, summer conditions, and the customer have got a very square delivery of recipe. So here you should see, and you can come back later on that, but you should see really these Timon things as an opportunity for a door opener. Because once you have delivered, you know, what I like to call the ray of sun to that customer. He had a problem, you solve it. That's worth $1 million. The customer will rely on you in the future. Okay? So let's go to the presentation itself. You must have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
Eric, last 15.
Plus 15.
Last 15.
1-5. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
No problem. Let me find the way to push the right button. Yes. Okay. I think I will more or less skip the international perspective. I think you've got a good flavor this morning. You had Italy, you had France. Tomorrow you are going to have America. Honestly, I cannot add value on that. It's clearly a move. You had, and I don't know if you remember when Stefan Plesser mentioned AMEF. AMEF is a protocol that describes commissioning steps and requirements, okay? And it was approved within Germany. And today, 4 different Länders, like 4 different regions in Germany, have put this in law for building, for public building above, I think, 1,000 square meter. Any project above 1,000 square meter need to have 2 things. They need to refer to AMEF for specifying in the request for bid what the commissioning should do. And also, the law in Germany have created that for all those public building above 1,000 square meter, they should be in the call for tenders. There should be an items that is called commissioning, separate. That means that gives an obligation for anybody that is working on a project. You know, it's not like commissioning is hidden somewhere under the contractor or under the finance, the investor or the owner. No, it's a separate line, commissioning. Okay, that's what I will say on that aspect. You'll see the different maps. You'll see there was a quality management for buildings, which Maya actually have also contributed. That done by Reva. This is available. I'm not sure I can propose it through India, because I'm not sure you can buy that one cheaper from India. Sorry.
70 euro.
She's always beating me at the end. You know. Don't ask the question who is going to win. You know, she's the one. So Copilot, Cormac did the introduction. Here, I just want to put a little bit importance of. If you look at it, you may say, but you know, Copilot is more or less like what Ubaldo was proposing. Is more or less like Maya was proposing. Is more or less like anybody is proposing. Well, the difference is the concept of third party. Remember this morning, Ubaldo insisted on, oh, wait a minute, I will control. It's not because you are giving me a report that I will accept the report. I will go through a process of validating whether this report is correct, okay? Well, relying on copilots means that we will act as a third-party certification body. That means that if as a commissioning company or as a commissioning project manager, you get into the Copilot protocol, at the end, not only you will deliver your work, but you will deliver your work with a third-party certifier that is going to back you behind. Maybe you will not appreciate it, but you know the lemons, when you go to supermarket, okay, you have fruits, okay? And I don't know if you have seen, but you have some lemons or some fruits, you know, that have got a little sticker. So you have got 4 different kind of lemons, okay? And you have one lemon that have got a little sticker, okay? The sticker is about, you know, biological grown or without chemical or made in Turkey or you name it, okay? But you know what? You are going most of the time. A lemon is a lemon, okay? But you know why? Even though you don't eat the sticker, you are going to buy the lemon with the sticker. Certification behind a commissioner is adding value to your work. That means, you know, Maya was saying, well, you know, we get 10 where we should get paid 100. Well, Copilot can, in most of the case, if on the market you get 10, maybe with Copilot you'll get not 12. Don't go for 12. Go for 50. Okay? Because of the trust of a third party. Okay? So that was the key point. And we have some knowledge. I'm also in charge of Eurevent certified performance. We have been doing third-party performance certification of products. We have got roughly 500 plus manufacturers that go through our grinder. It hurts, okay? A lot of frictions, but they get value of it with the sticker Eurevent certified performance, okay? Well, we do the same for Copilot. Technical monitoring, that was exactly what was presented to you. You can enter your market with Copilot Timon Lite, like it was presented by Cinevision, okay? You can offer that prestation, okay? And as it is done offline, okay, we will support you. You will interact with your customer. You will sell your business, and we'll support you behind, do the data analysis, okay? Then later on, if you are becoming a big, or if you are a big commissioner, you can even, get the license of the software itself and do the whole work yourself. But then you deliver us the protocol by which you have done your work and to Copilot. And if you respect that protocol, then your work will be certified even though you did the analysis yourself. Okay, so this is how it works. How many minutes left?
You have 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. So that is rephrasing, what Stefan Plesser explained. We look at information, target value, and we do an evaluation. By the way, this can be done for a revamping, or this can be done also at the end. At time of delivery, you can do a team-on and say, as part of the package, look, sir, not only I've checked all the report, I can guarantee this is correct and so on, but I'm also delivering you a kind of a picture, a technical picture of the technical conditions and performance of your installations. You have this report. And then later on, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, you can pull back exactly the same method, call back the story or the added value. That means for you, it's a recurrent business. You are a commissioner. 3, 4 years later, there is a new owner. There is a new M&E company. The building didn't perform properly or was not maintained properly. Somebody get nervous, like Maya, shouted in the room. Well, a new MEP is getting on board. Well, the guy wants to have a clean start. Well, there was an analysis done. Let's do another one to assess where are we and what should we do, okay? Okay, this can be done on existing building. I did it, I explained it, okay? This can accelerate troubleshooting. These are also can you guidelines to improve what are the area where you should improve, whether it's on comfort or productivity or whatsoever. Let's carry on. No added value here. Like it was mentioned, we are applying that methodology to a few projects now. So on this subject, this team-on, the Copilot, team-on, can really be a springboard to your business. Like I say, a door opener, a key to get into business, a lightweight at the meeting, but high quality result, or high quality import.
Sorry, by team-on you mean technical monitoring?
Yes, sorry.
It's important.
Yeah, it's Copilot technical monitoring, okay? Yeah, team-on is this, sorry. Why certification? That's the keyword. Trust, third party, we cannot be influenced, okay? If in our protocol, we have to do this, if we are not there, we are not there. There is no negotiations, there is no, well, can we, no. It has to comply, okay? And this is what makes the trust. The impact can be for the owner, for the facility manager, that need to want to solve a problem. He has got a problem, he has got a responsibility, he needs to have a clear view of what's going on. Also, you can also, as a commissioning company or as a commissioning supervisor, you can give reassurance to your customers. I will not go through the details. It's a similar approach because it's the same methodology. It's just on a much narrower scope. This morning, not this morning, this afternoon, Cormac, presented you the methodology with different criteria of urgency depending on the importance on achieving the objective. We do the same for the Copilot. It's just that it's on a narrow scope. All type of buildings. The return on investment is a little bit tricky aspect, and you will hate to discuss that, but at one point, you need to understand that a little bit in order not to chase all projects with the same recipe. If you are in front of you a project which is a low-end market project, don't even try to convince them to do certified commissioning, okay? You have to select people that are looking for higher return, that have got a financial approach or high quality objectives. If the mindset of those people are already in that area, then you can come with commissioning. Commissioning on low-end building, when the guy in front of you, the only thing that counts is you enter at 10 and you are going to get out at $1 or €1 or 1 lira, forget it. That's why return on investment need to be a subject where your customer is sensitive to. As a summary, as takeaway, okay? For copilots today, we are ready. The tool is ready, the training is ready. We are starting to have some business case. We are cooperating very closely with TTMD, and I must here say that the TTMD team that was involved in building up copilots in the last 24 months has been represented by 3 people that were extremely involved. Okay, they have been to all the meetings. They prepare their meetings. They arrive prepared at the meetings and so on. So they did really a fantastic job. So we have a very good agreement with TTMD to deploy training of commissioning, training of copilots, in Turkey. Our objective is within the coming month to make sure that we can train some commissioning person with copilot so they can get their certification as copilot commissioners. And then the idea, even before you get your accreditations, we can even look at some project to do some demo in Turkey. Our objective is to have 1 or 2 demo in Turkey to demonstrate that, yes, it works in Turkey. The same thing we do in Germany, same thing we do in France. We need a bunch of references, not in all the same countries, because if I got a reference in Germany, the Turkish people say, Turkey is different, okay? Even if it's the same methodology, no, it's different. So for us, it's no problem. Yes, each country is different, and each country should get their own approach, however, with the same protocol. So can we get commissioning project? Can we do TMON, okay? Technical monitoring projects, the light one. Remember, this is a low-hanging fruits. I think we can get those very easily. Our objective is to, in the coming month, to organize the training and get some TTMD engineers, commissioning engineers trained, okay? And of course, if there are investors, people that are managing or asset manager in this room that are managing large projects or many projects or mini buildings and so on, we are absolutely ready to talk to them. If they have a project going on right now, we can taken that, they can bring us an opportunity to demonstrate what is the adding value of this in Turkey. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great.